Yeah, man. I feel it's necessary to talk about this because so many people have mentioned this before, and then gang stalkers like to mention this too and tell you that this is what's wrong with you. Tinnitus. Tinnitus. Um, I don't know if tinnitus is or isn't an actual thing that exists, but what I do know is that most people think that when they get frequencies in their ear that it's tinnitus, or that's what they're told, tinnitus. Whatever tinnitus is, I don't know, and I don't experience tinnitus. What I experience is artificial telepathy, and it's a broadcast from neural monitoring. And when a gang stalker has access to your neural monitoring and you're on it remotely, remote neural monitoring, then they can broadcast different things to you. They can broadcast whatever. They can just turn on a high frequency right to your eardrum and leave it on. And they can do all kinds of weird stuff. I've had them just about make me dizzy with the weird broadcast stuff all around my head. Um, People get an idea in their head that artificial telepathy would mean like you're having a voice in your head. No. Or somehow you just know. Maybe sometimes it is like that, because when you're connected to somebody on neural monitoring and it's a mind control system, artificial telepathy is a form of mind control, and it's a broadcast, and it's coming to and from people. There's a system in between, a satellite broadcast system that has supercomputers or whatever built in with it, or relayed somewhere, whatever. But that's the system. And otherwise, the receivers are the humans, the human brains. Okay, so sometimes they don't have to say that, what they're thinking, before you get it. And it is like that, like telepathic. It is like that. And not all the time, but if you have on the headset, like they have on the headset, like it's just right emitted right into their head. This EMF mind control headset that they wear, it's emitted right into their mind. Everything you think. So what you see and everything else, it's just neural monitoring, and your neurological senses, all of them, are emitted into their mind, so they can virtually be you. I mean, they can actually like live vicariously as you. In their mind, they can just be you. They can see what you see. They wear these eye covers, and they can see what you see, and they know what you're thinking, and they hear you. Okay, and but I hear them. Okay, I hear them when they talk to me, and you don't hear them in your head. When they talk to me, sometimes I already know what they're going to say because it is a broadcast. But when they're talking to me, it could come from anywhere. They're controlling the broadcast, so it's never really in your head, though. It's not in your head. Even when you just get it without them saying it, it's still not like a voice in your head. You just get it. It's just that you just get it. There is no voice. But when they talk, it comes from somewhere around you. It doesn't. It's not in your head. All right, that's not how artificial telepathy works. It's not a voice in your head. It's from somewhere around you. And they can control where the broadcast comes from with the settings. So, or where their broadcast is located, I guess, would be a way. But it's definitely not in your head. And when they're talking to you, since artificial telepathy is a form of mind control and you are the receiver of it, you tend to want to talk along with them word for word. Depending on how high they have the broadcast turned up is how intense that would be. But you could always talk along with them word for word. And, it's like you can allow them to mind control you by talking along with them. And it's kind of how it's just kind of how it works. And if you're on neural monitoring and you're talking to them, then you know already that, I'm sorry, I'm receiving a phone call. But you know already, when you're talking to them, that they can talk along with you word for word, and you can mind control them. You can, whatever you imagine, you can make them say it. And because they're allowing you to mind control them, they're being mind controlled by you, and that's what they're addicted to. And you can make them say dumb shit and all, whatever you want. And then it kind of shifts, like who's taking control. Are you saying what they're saying, or are they saying what you're saying? But aside from all the saying, artificial telepathy, and this is one of the big things that people miss. Artificial telepathy does not have to be people talking. Okay, they can make it sound like a car door just shut in your front yard. They can make it sound like a doorbell. They can play your favorite song, or they can play the song you hate the most and just play it to you over and over. They can make bird noises, and they can make it sound like Freddy Krueger is in your attic. They can do whatever they want. They can make, they used to have this thing, this jaguar noise on my neuromonitoring, and every time I would open my mouth, this jaguar noise would come out, and I'm like, it was weird, but they have, they have access to those type of settings, and it doesn't have to be people talking. So tinnitus most likely is a broadcast, and they're most likely turning it on to try to drive you insane. They do it to me all the time. Marcus, if I lay in my bed, Marcus turns on high-pitched frequencies and girl screams. It's really a Marcus-et scream, a modulated Marcus voice scream that he just turns on. And then when he talks, it kind of like blends with that, and he could talk through that. So they can do all kinds of things with the neural monitoring. You can make music in your mind. If you can listen, if you can imagine something in your mind, then it can be artificial telepathy, just like that. So just imagine, like in your mind, like you're like a song is playing, or some song you're making up in your head right now, and just imagine that. And really what happens is, because they most likely have your sound turned off, because that's what they like to do. They like to be mind controlled, and they like to be your sound for their live stream. So most likely what's happening is whatever you're imagining and thinking comes through their mind, and then you hear it back out loud through their mind, because they're wanting to be mind controlled, and that's what their live stream is all about, is you mind controlling them and stuff like that. So in some cases they can turn you on, your sound on. So then it's like, it's almost like is like you can hear yourself talking when you're talking, and it gets a little confusing. But it definitely could be music. Artificial telepathy is the future of music. Okay, it really is. What you can imagine real quick, and just you could take it and chop it up and do all kinds of things. And I have fun with this sometimes. And despite how much Marcus hates me, and the feeling is mutual, sometimes we have fun doing musical stuff, but I don't want to really admit that. I'd love to have access to my own stuff, so I could like do that and put this stuff out there and control my own stuff. But they're not trying to give it to me ever. But it's not going to work out for them. So I just wanted to really talk about the artificial telepathy and how it doesn't have to be talking, and how some of the ways that it works, and it can be any sound. So you have to really be on your game when they're messing with you. Once they've turned you on with the artificial telepathy, then the gang stalking is full blown. It's no longer just a silent broadcast. If they're attacking you with broadcasts, and you can hear them talking to you, and they're doing live streams, and it's a full-blown gang stalk with remote neural monitoring and EMF broadcast, and that's what's going on. So I hope you guys understand it a little better after this video. I appreciate you watching. Subscribe, leave a comment. This is Kevin Christian. I will holler at y'all.